Okay. All right, I am just doing one more thing here and then we will get started. I don't know how long we'll go. I guess it depends on the Q&A. I've got a Kahoot ready to go here whenever we're done. Huzzoo, huzzah. So I guess I have to put things up on the screen though so you can see what I'm doing. Bing, bang, boom, bing, bang. There we go. Okay. So first order of business, obviously we're done all of our content. We finished content on Thursday of last week. So nothing new. Basically what we've got here today is just some Q&A. So if you have any questions, do put them into the chat, or you can yell at me. Yelling is also appropriate. And then once we're done with questions, we will we'll proceed to the who is my favorite student here. I have to admit, unfortunately, because it's a big class, I don't know any of you that well. So just, yeah, sure, you. Like, we'll go there. Yeah, that one. Her. I don't know her name, but she's my favorite. There we go. She's yelled at me. So she's like, no, more content. So I'm sure she's everyone's favorite. No, don't end the class 5 minutes early. You're not allowed. So that's what it is. That's it. All right. Wow, these are easy questions so far. Just pick a random student. All right. Is the final the same format as the midterms? Yes. So it's the same thing. It's 50 multiple choice questions. You're going to get the same thing, 90 minutes to complete it. Yeah, so 50, you get 90 minutes to complete the exam. So it'll be exactly the same. Again, it's done on whatever device you want to do it on. If you want a paper copy, I think 2 people have asked for paper copies in the past. I'm going to bring about 15 of them because yes, I always have a backup plan in case someone's device fails. Wait, there's one more thing. I have prizes. I have Twizzlers. I have a coffee crisp bar. I have my backpack slowly falling, a Kit Kat, and some Twix. So I went with all the nut-free things, so it's safe for everybody. Timbits? I wish. No. I had Krispy Kreme the other day, and I have to say, I know they're American and we hate them now, but the donuts were really good. Is the format same for people with accommodations? Yes. Yeah, if you have accommodations, I will make sure to send you an email again with all the details. I think there might be a couple people that have accommodations that just got them, so I'll make sure to kind of trace it out. But yeah, if you have accommodations, it is the same. Yes, 50. Yes, there are prizes. Are there Timbits? No, I wish. Are most of the questions scenarios or definitions? Like all the other exams, there is a mix of the two. I haven't actually picked the questions yet because your exam is not till I think like the 23rd. So I have not quite had time to do it. I will post the questions as soon as I get to them. I have, I see we're going with very serious questions today. Okay, so yeah, there'll be a mix. I'll post the Kahoot after class today. I have one other class, and their exam is the 14th, and I haven't posted their practice questions yet, and that feels a little bit more urgent to me than you, because you don't write till like the 23rd. Do I know about Snape wives? I feel like I should, but I won't. What is my favorite dinosaur? I don't know. That's a silly question. Oh no, I cleared a real question instead of the dinosaur one. Do I know about Snape wives? Okay, what is the usual average for the exam? I mean, the average for the final usually ranges somewhere between 76 and 82. It depends on the year. And so my chief goon and a student who's taken like 7 classes with me, her name is Ashley. She will be here with 2 other goons that I don't know as well, but it's not exactly the same crew. Oksana and Karen didn't want to come at 8:30 in the morning for some reason. I don't blame them. By the way, if I got a rare 17th century Franciscan habit with my name on it, if you get an A+ on the course, that is a weird flex. I mean, it's all up to you. Do you know what do we need to know? Whoa, okay. Okay, there's an actual interesting question here. Do you need to know the percent of divorce today? No, I think just know the trends, right? Especially the trends. It's like big jump in 64 in Canada with the Divorce Act, and then a bigger jump in 1985 with the amendments to the Divorce Act. Is the class curved or scaled? No. This class is not curved and it is not scaled. So what you get in the course is what you get, right? So, but yeah, there's no curving or scaling in this class. We're not supposed to do it in sociology. That's the sort of official rules as I understand them. Will there be more emphasis placed on certain topics? Religion is my favorite. So like you're going to get 45 questions on religion and then 5 questions on the other ones. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to try to balance it out as close as I can for the 4 units that we have. So I will attempt to... yes, well, we can talk about that another time. I'm going to try to balance it as evenly as possible. I feel like we spent reasonably even time on everything, maybe a little bit more on religion, but I'll try to balance it out because we got race and ethnicity, we got families, we got religion, we got education. I'm going to try to balance them as close as I can. So you should study them all equally. How do you join the Goon Squad in the future? Go to the Department of Sociology, talk to the undergrad advisor. Her name's Pam. She's fabulous. I love her. And tell her you would like to be on the proctor patrol or a proctor. And they're always looking for people, so they will sign you up. And you get paid. It's not free. Yes, please do. I was waiting for your email and waiting, and it never came. Yes, but please email me. What's the usual average for the exam? I answered that. What do I think are the chances that U of A staff will go on strike? I think it's approximately equal to the square root of -1. I don't think you're going to get a bunch of professors to go on strike. They'll sign a collective agreement that sacrifices contract instructors. Contract instructors will get like $3 for teaching a class, so everyone else can keep their pension and get raises. I think that's how it's going to play out, because that's how it played out last time. So I don't think we're going to go on strike. We're not York University. We don't actually have principals at U of A, so, there you go. Okay, I don't know. Are there any other questions? I'll wait a minute. So far, I feel like you're all very confident and you have no actual content questions. Is it still no on doing an interpretive dance? I've said I will accept your interpretive dance, but you must know that my criteria are extremely subjective. And I don't have training in classical dance, but I will find someone who does if you want to do this, and they're going to judge you very harshly. So no, actually, I'm joking. You cannot do interpretive dance. You must answer the 50 multiple choice questions. I feel like that's still easier than interpretive dance. Sorry. Another time. Okay. I take it, well, I'll give it another 2 minutes, and if there's, I said I was kidding. Why do I have a text message from my boss that says Jeff might? That's never good. Okay, yes, never mind. I will answer that later. So the criteria for the dance would be beauty, originality, choreography, right? Like it's got to really fit, and song selection. It has to be a song that I like. And that is going to be really difficult because none of you know what I like. I do not share my Spotify Wrapped ever. So there you go. All right. Okay, if there's no other ACD, oh God, how old do you think I am? AC/DC. No, AC/DC is a band. AC/DC is a band. Okay. AC/DC is a band. Oh, okay, seriously, how old do you think I am? John Lennon. Imagine there's no heaven. Actually, imagine there's no song called Imagine. It's easy if I try. It's the worst song ever written. Every time I hear it, I want to die. It's a terrible song. But I did rhyme to the rhyme of Imagine. Off topic, it's my favorite song. I'm never telling anyone that. If you dress like Karl Marx, you would win. Okay. That's a secret. The Beatles, again, how old do you think I am? I don't mind the Beatles, but I have a limited kind of... Okay, now see, I feel like you're now in the right era, probably. I was actually alive when the Spice Girls were a thing, so that's good. Definitely not AC/DC. The truth is, I don't know that I have a favorite song. Yes, let's start the Kahoot, and then everyone can leave. The Dixie Chicks. Oh my God, the Beach Boys. Again, how old do you think I am? Not that old. All right, I'm clearing this off. What's your favorite late 90s, early 2000s new metal song? I don't even know what that genre is, to be perfectly honest. The ink spots. All right, let's clear this. Oh, sorry, that question was real. No, the final is not cumulative. It's just the last 4 units. Okay. Now we're just being insulting. Okay. All right, now the Kahoot is gone. Let us go to, oh, sorry, not the Kahoot, the Slido is gone. Let's go to the Kahoot. I'm gonna see if I can make it appear in the online. I cannot. I don't know why that one never wants to appear. Sorry, online people, I don't think I can get you to do the Kahoot because it does not want to let me. Maybe if I close every other tab, it'll work. You can see how chaotic my calendar is. All right, I'll just leave it here and see. Oh, it did show up. Great, awesome, it worked. Huzzah. The day is won. Hopefully I selected the right one. We'll give it 5 more seconds here. All right. So let's do some Kahoot questions, and then we'll go from there. 3, 2, 1. We can all count. Quiz. All right, Roman Catholicism in Canada, Judaism in Israel, and Hinduism in India are examples of which of the following? Is it a cult, a sect, a church, or an ecclesia? Right, so that is a cult. Thank you. No, I mean, obviously Roman Catholicism, Judaism, and Hinduism are the main religions of each of those places. So those would all be a church according to that taxonomy from Rodney Stark and market theory, right? A sect is obviously a subgroup, right, that splits off from a church. And an ecclesia is just a random word. It also means church, but it's not a term we use in sociology. All right. A church changing its music to attract more young people is an example of which of the following? Is it a community affiliation model of religion, secularization theory, market theory of religion, or the revised secularization theory? I give myself 10 out of 10 for that interpretive dance I just did. Okay, yes, so this is market theory of religion. Community affiliation model of religion is just word salad. If you chose that, you fell for word salad. Secularization theory is the idea that religion is going to decline over time as we get further into modernity, right? Modernity is toxic to religion. Revised secularization is this theory that, church religions will become less central to societies, but they'll still exist. And the market theory, right, is religious groups target their religious products to try and find buyers in the market, right, which is what you're doing when you change the music. All right. Ooh, I have to keep clicking the button. Okay. The only thing necessary to file for a divorce. What is the only thing necessary to file for a divorce following the amendments to the 1985 Divorce Act? Is it marital breakdown, sexual deviance, abandonment, or gross addiction? All right, right. It's just marital breakdown, right? You don't have to give any other cause, obvious, other than, we don't love each other anymore. We don't want to be married anymore. Sexual deviance is not a bad guess. It would be adultery would be one of the conditions that you have, but you don't need that anymore. You needed that in the earlier Divorce Act. Abandonment, same thing. Earlier versions of the Divorce Act said abandonment was a cause. Now you just need to say, 1 year period of separation, our marriage is done, we're out. All right. This view states that religious institutions and consciousness are declining in society. Is it the secularization theory, the opium view, the profanity thesis, or the rationalization thesis? Okay, good job, right? This is secularization, right? I just talked about it a second ago. The opium view, thank you for not falling for that. I appreciate that. Profanity thesis, I think someone picked that just to be funny. Rationalization is probably the best other choice, but obviously doesn't fit because it's wrong. Rationalization is a component of secularization thesis. It's down to ranch dressing and Page and Mel. There we go. Which term refers to print, radio, television? Oh, hang on, that question got left in. Don't answer. That got left in from when I taught the media unit. Dang you, ranch dressing, you're so fast. I meant to take that one out. I thought I had deleted it. Okay, what term describes a sexual encounter that is spontaneous and unlikely to happen again? Is it a makeout session, Friday night, sexual assault, or a hookup? I was feeling silly when I wrote Friday night as an answer to this. Right, this is a hookup. Thank you for not picking Friday night, everyone. I'd be depressed if like 28 of you said Friday night. Okay, there we go. Ranch dressing with their unfair advantage because they're too fast at answering questions. Which of the following is not one of the 3 B's of religiosity? Is it benevolence, belonging, behavior, or belief? Okay, benevolence, very good, right? Belief, behavior, belonging, those are 3 B's of SOC of religion. All right. Cohabitation is replacing marriage in which of the following provinces? Is it Alberta, Ontario, British Columbia, or La Belle Province, la province de Québec? Yes, this is okay. Ontario. Quebec is leading the charge, right? Quebec is moving to cohabitation much faster than the rest of Canada. Marriage rates have dropped much further. Definitely put that question on the old exam. Your streak has ended, ranch dressing. Helena speaks Ukrainian, makes pierogies, and married in a Ukrainian church. She is part of, is it a majority group, an ethnic group, a racial group, or the power elite? The power elite. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? I want to be part of the power elite. Okay, obviously, right, this is an ethnic group. It's not a racial group for, obviously, just because it's not distinguished by physical characteristics, right, but by cultural and linguistic ones, like religion and language. Okay. What significant technology was invented by Johannes Gutenberg, right? This is an education question. Is it the microcomputer, the World Wide Web, the printing press, or the telegraph? This is a very subtle point that I made in the education unit. Very good. The printing press. Very nice. The telegraph would be Samuel Morse. I actually don't know who invented the internet. I'm going to say Bill Gates. No, I know that's not true. That's a terrible, he did not invent the internet. He's just, made Windows. Okay, which of the following is not a factor that contributed to the spread of mass schooling? So which one is not? Is it the development of the printing press, the Protestant Reformation, industrialism, or the promotion of communism? Союз нерушимый, Республик Свободный, платила на веки Великая Русь. No. Нас торжеству коммунизма ведет. Sorry, I'm just quoting the Soviet national anthem for no reason. Badly, because my accent is terrible. Sorry, I should have, obviously, I didn't even look at the results. I was too busy speaking Russian. What do we call the process whereby education enforces common standards? Is it multiculturalism, pluralism, homogenization, or winnowing? Common standards. We all end up the same. Very good, right? Pluralism. No, that's the opposite. Okay. All right, the unfair advantage ranch dressing got remains. Okay. What do we call the expectation of an outcome that causes what it predicts? Is it intellectual curiosity, a self-fulfilling prophecy, exclusion prediction, or a speculative inquiry? Ta-da! Yes, that is our self-fulfilling prophecy. The other ones are obviously word salad. Okay. And again, that is a concept that we've seen twice in the course, right? In socialization and in education. Hopefully there's no more bad questions. What is a necessary factor in causing religiosity? Is it peer pressure, personal reflection, daily prayer, or socialization? The faster you answer, the more points you get. Socialization, right? You cannot become religious if nobody teaches you how to do it. You're not spontaneously going to be, just wake up tomorrow and become the Pope. That's not how it's going to go. Not tomorrow anyway. Some of you, maybe, if you work really hard. Oh, Mel, you've pulled ahead of ranch dressing despite the unfair advantage. Well done. Okay. How did Durkheim refer to supernatural elements of religion? Is it as sacred, as the collective effervescence, as profane, or as ritualistic? So the supernatural elements of religion. So, collective effervescence is probably the best other guess here. Profane, right? The profane is actually the worldly and non-religious aspects. The sacred, right, is those religious, spiritual aspects. Again, he didn't believe that they related to a real thing, but just that's how people existed. And as ritualistic, rituals are the way people experience the sacred in Durkheim's kind of way of thinking. All right. Judging a person based on preconceived ideas about the group that person belongs to is called discrimination, racism, scapegoating, or prejudice. Right, so this is prejudice. Why is it not discrimination? Because that's the other, possibility here. Discrimination has an active component. You have to take an action in order for it to become discrimination. If it's just inside your head and you're judging the person, but there's no, you don't deny them service or not let them rent your house, then it's not discrimination. Ranch dressing, I thought you were on your way down, never to return, but you're back. All right. According to me, Weber's idea of the Protestant ethic is outdated, wrong, a major breakthrough, or still an issue. I played a little video, the doctor sang a song. If you weren't there, you'll have no idea. Right, the Protestant ethic is wrong. Historians at the time said that Weber had misunderstood the history leading up to this, and so fundamentally got a whole bunch of things wrong. So, I think major breakthrough, I think it's an interesting take, and I think it's really illustrative of those symbolic interactionist ideas. But yeah, it's definitely not still an issue, because he's talking about this in the context of the 16th and 17th centuries. So, no one else moved. Well done, Mel. Everyone else stood still on the leaderboard. From what does mass education arise? I don't know, I did the Batman voice. Industrialization, globalization, a class system, or multiculturalism. Why did we get mass education? Sometimes I want to drop my subscription to Kahoot just because they still haven't changed the music and it's been like 10 years. Industrialization, right? It's the need for educated workers that drives the adoption of mass education. Governments do that. Globalization, way too late, right? Mass education comes before globalization, unless you go with the archaic account, but let's not talk about that. A class system, well, it's mass education, right? So it transcends classes, so it can't be that. And no one said multiculturalism. So there you go. All right, everyone moved this time. Okay, our structure is increasingly reified. No one's moving. How did Durkheim refer to the everyday world? Was it as ritualistic, as profane, as the collective effervescence, or as sacred, right? Same options as the last one. But, I already gave you the answer, so I hope you're paying attention. Fun times. Right? That's the regular world is the profane, because the profane is things that aren't sacred. So, there we go. Ritualistic, again, ritualism and rituals are an aspect of the sacred. This one has no name. There we go. What is polygamy? Friday night is not an option for this one. Marriage between two people who are related by blood. A form of marriage where wives have more power than husbands. A form of marriage involving more than two spouses, or a village is considered a parent to every child. Okay, good. A form of marriage where wives have more power than husbands. Typically they outnumber them, so maybe that's true. But no, right? It's more than one spouse, right? And typically, one man. Polyandry is one woman to many men, and it only happens in 0.3% of global societies. All right. This denotes a bureaucratic religious organization that is accepted within society. Is it a denomination, a church, a new religious movement, or a sect? All right, again, this is a church, right? This is a big bureaucratic religious organization that, basically is well integrated into society. Denomination would be the second best guess, and that has the second highest score because they're close. But this particular definition is definitely a church. I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name, except there's no name there. Sorry, a little Taylor Swift for you. Which Canadian would be able to choose his race and ethnicity most easily and successfully? Is it Peter, a 30-year-old Métis construction worker? Conan, a 20-year-old Scottish hairstylist? Robert, a 35-year-old Jamaican lawyer? Or Chung Hua, a 25-year-old Korean student? Who gets to pick? Like, who can redefine their ethnicity the most easily? Yes, it's Conan, right? Because it's, if you remember, that kind of symbolic interactionist, constructionist take is that the whiter you are, right, white and second or third generation immigrant is going to have an easier time redefining their ethnicity, right? You could be like just Canadian or whatever. When you have those kind of visible markers, like visible racial markers, it's going to be more difficult. Peter is a good guess, right? Because I'm sure a lot of Métis are going to be white passing as well. But Conan is going to be the easier one. Okay. All right. What term describes the parenting style of working and lower class families, right? Is this laissez-faire, natural growth, concerted cultivation, or restrictive? I thought for a second that this was a question that shouldn't be there, but I did talk about this. All right, yes, it is natural growth, right? Except when they need their children to obey. Concerted cultivation, laissez-faire is an economic theory or an economic style. Oops, I went forward. I was done explaining that. I'm good. Oh, that shouldn't be there. No, wait, skip. I was faster this time. Okay. 2 questions slipped through. All right. But I skipped it, so it's all good. In the 1400s, which of the following people were most likely to be literate? Is it a rich mercantilist, a priest, a textile artisan, or a wealthy landowner? This one should be here because it's from education. Right? If we think back, who was literate in the past? Was it a textile artisan? So, the priest, right, because he's the only one who needs to read the Bible and that stuff. Most other people wouldn't have been able to read. It's before the printing press. All right. Yay, I'm on the list. That's not me. Someone pretending to be me. What is the main difference between race and ethnicity? Ethnicity is cultural. Race is physical attributes. Race is cultural. Ethnicity is physical attributes. Racial categorizations are more scientifically determined. People can be multiracial. They can't be multi-ethnic. That's a lot of words. Ethnicity is cultural. Race is physical. So you did good on that one. I can't do vignette questions, unfortunately, like the little story ones in Kahoot, because Kahoot does not allow enough characters. So I may have to, I'm looking at different tools for another time I teach SOC 100. But since that doesn't benefit you in any way. Hey, it's Ashley, goon, my number one goon. All right, what did Durkheim believe was the central function of religion? Is it to create a collective unconscious, to manifest the collective unconscious, to reinforce social solidarity, or to ritualize the profane? Again, he's a functionalist. What do functionalists care about? Yes, it is about social solidarity. The two collective unconsciousness ones are good guesses, but he actually talks about collective conscience, not unconsciousness, right? So you get sucked in by a little Freudian language that sounds like it might be functionalist. And to ritualize the profane is just silly. All right, Mel is running away with it. All right, which sociologist wrote The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism? Was it Max Weber, Emil Durkheim, Karl Marx, or Talcott Parsons? Dun, 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 dun. We watched the video twice in this course. You should know it. I'm sure you were all paying deep attention. Right, it is Max Weber, probably his most famous book, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, right? Durkheim wrote The Elementary Forms of Religion. Karl Marx never wrote anything about religion other than it's the opium of the people. And Talcott Parsons is way too late. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I really want this to... I mean, it's really like a two-way race here for first place. So there's no third option. Everyone else is too far behind. Based on sociological research, what is IQ really a reflection of? Is it social standing, genetic endowment, emotional intelligence, or racialized and gendered differences? Genetics. Emotional intelligence. That's what a guy like Justin Trudeau has. Not real intelligence, emotional intelligence. All right, it's social standing, right? And social, things like social class, particularly. All right. All right. Because it's not about genetics, right? It's about what place you fall in society and how well you riff with those values. Oh, that shouldn't be there. All right, we're just going to leave it here. Who answers this right? Geez, I had 3 work questions stuck in here for some reason. You should just know this is general trivia, right? Because only one of these names actually makes sense. I thought I had scrubbed all these questions out. Henry Ford. Frederick Taylor. Oh, I can tell you about Taylorism. Come take my work class if you have time. And William Gates, that's Bill Gates, right? The founder of Microsoft, who did not, in fact, make the assembly line. All right, I just left that one in there. All right. The situation where people engage in group public worship in a prescribed and orderly manner is it false consciousness, effervescence, social solidarity, or a ritual? There we go. Actually, the question that's supposed to be there. I thought I had them all. I taught a unit on work last year. It was boring and people didn't like it, so I took it out. But the questions remain. Yes, it is a ritual. This is like the 3rd question on this. I'm disappointed that people still didn't answer. Okay. All right, most people did. All right, Mel and ranch dressing. Ranch dressing is still within striking distance, I think. Oh, men outnumber women 2-to-1 in which of the following university programs in Canada today? Is it health, social science, business, or STEM fields? Science, technology, engineering, and math fields. Or social science. It's definitely not social science. It's actually like the other way around in social science. Business is not a bad guess, but actually business is increasingly female dominated, right? It's about parity at the moment. And then health is just like, no. I mean, when you count nursing in health, it's like 80% female. Okay, can Sienna overtake Globe with headphones on? That's the question. Oh, come on. No, why is it? Haha. No one could answer. According to Bourdieu, teachers reinforce learning of dominant cultural values through what? There we go. Is it grade inflation, pedagogic violence, holy fuck, social exclusion, or cultural capital? There we go. I have to clean those before I post this. Right, so this is pedagogic violence, right? This is excluding some kinds of knowledge as invalid, right? So cultural capital is a good guess. I mean, Bourdieu will say that cultural capital will disadvantage students from disadvantaged groups, right? Because they don't have as much of it or it doesn't match what their teachers have. Social exclusion, I guess not a bad guess, but not what we're talking about. Okay. I think we have, oh, Paige, you've made a huge comeback. You're close to the lead at the beginning and then disappeared for a while. There we go. What do we call living together as a couple without being legally married? Is it cohabitation, coexistence, alternative marriage, or a civil union? It's an easy question. Yes, obviously this is cohabitation. A civil union is something slightly different. There's actual ceremony involved. Okay. All right. Paige, I believe in you. You can overtake Globe with headphones. One last question. Which theorists believe that religion was the opiate of the masses? Is it Thomas Hobbes, Emil Durkheim, Karl Marx, or Max Weber? It's an appropriate final question. It's Marx, right? Marx is the guy who says that religion is the opium of the masses, right? It makes you dopey and accept your lot in life. Don't worry, if you take more sociology, you'll read lots of Marx. All right, who's our winners? In third place, Sienna. Wow, you come from behind victory right there. Ranch dressing at number 2. And the winner is clearly Mel. There we go. Good job, Mel. Huzzah, clap, clap, clap. Okay. Yay. Okay, that is it. I am done, and I'm sure you're done with me. So, if you're one of the top 3, or I think Liv was our next one up, right? So, if you're one of those, Mel, you get first pick, Ranch dressing second, Sienna third, and Liv, you get whatever is left over. Come and claim your prizes. If you have any questions that come up between now and the final, please do email me. I don't know that I'll have scheduled office hours, but you're Mel. Mel, claim your prize. But you can email me and we can still talk and I'll be on campus lots. That would have been my choice too. Perfect.
I did not mean to put that first.
No, that's okay. There you go. All right. There we go. Perfect. I will wait with bated breath. Have a good one. Yeah. Unless someone was playing online. Probably not. Goodbye, online people.